All right, here we are. Hey, hey, hey. It's me
Hello.
now, and I am here today with Miss Lindsey Sanders. And we're going to talk a little bit about her journey into kind of figuring out her own personal brand strategy and her experience with the Empowered Presence program. So I'm going to go ahead and allow her to introduce yourself. Hey, Lindsay, what's up? How are
Hello.
you?
Hi. Happy Tuesday. First of all, I would like to thank you for allowing me to come on and speak about my experience with Empowered Presence. Again, my name is Lindsey Sanders. I am one of the very few percentage of females working in the STEM industry. My talents are right now dedicated to the Department of Defense, particularly Department of Navy, where I specialize in software configuration management. Um, I know a couple people don't know what that is, but that is me pretty much getting the software that my command develops to the right places in layman's terms.
Nice. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay.
You know,
Department of
anything other
Defense.
than that is top secret. So,
Dang. So I can't ask about what's going on in the
mm, nah,
in the.
nah.
Oh,
Nah.
okay. Cool. 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 That's fine. So tell us a little bit about where you were before we started working together to kind of build your brand and all of that. What was kind of going through your head? What were you feeling like you were looking for, you were needing, or like just walk us through a little bit about that.
Okay, so next month it will be my 10th year with the Department of Defense. And I was feeling that I needed something else, something more. I know I wanted to be able to reach um, other people like me in the industry and just connect with them. So I was just thinking, well, how can I do that? I've done leadership classes. I've you know taken on various roles within my job, but I was looking for something different. So I wanted to be able to position myself to speak to the audience I was looking for. And I came across your program. You was advertising. I think you just recently turned 40, and you was promoting empowered presence. And I said, maybe that's it. So that's how you got me. You muted. Oh, hey Mel, you muted.
Jesus. All right, sorry. So you said you wanted, you were looking for something more. So tell us a little bit about, because you mentioned you wanted to speak to your target audience. Tell us a little bit more about what you mean by that.
So, well, that's why I came to you. I didn't know exactly who that was, and I wanted to narrow it down to make a more impactful presence. So, after working with you, I knew that I wanted to reach a audience of women, a audience of minority women, because for a while now, since undergrad, college, I've always been in a space where I am one of the many few in STEM. So, I mean, that's got to be hard. Like going to classes every day and not seeing somebody that can relate to you or look like you, or going to your job and not seeing, having the same effect. Nobody is at the table looking like you. So I'm like, it takes a lot to show up every day in a space where there's only a few. But what I knew is that I needed to encourage those who are already in the industry and those who are thinking about enter the industry, that show up, keep showing up. And that's who I wanted to target. So it helped, the program helped me to figure that out.
Okay, okay, interesting. So tell me a little bit about what you expected. So before you even got into the portal and all the, lessons and our call or anything like that. Once you decided and it was a go, before you got in there, what were you expecting out of it?
Um, Honestly, I had. not a lot of expectations, but I knew it was going to be something great. And I say that because for about 12 years, I've been working with you to advance my career. Actually, you was my resume writer. You was my career coach in the middle of my career. So we've been working together for a while. So I knew when you brought this program out, I was like, it's going to be something special. I wanted to be a part of that. I wanted to get on board and allow you to help me to that next level. So my expectation wasn't set, but I knew at the end it would be something great. And I wasn't disappointed.
Okay, I like it. I like it. That's a great perspective to have. Like, no real expectations. Just let's do it. Let's see what
Yeah,
happens.
I mean, your program and coaching has always been really thought out and easy to follow, and the follow-on material has always been good, and you're really good at explaining things in terms of which somebody can understand and grasp. So I knew I was in for a good program.
Okay, I like that. Well, thank you, Madame. Appreciate you. And I'm just excited that I was able to still kind of, work with you even beyond the 9 to 5 stuff, right?
Yeah.
Because, like you said, I was your resume writer. You were my very first resume that I wrote before my own. You were my first. And being able to kind of coach you through your journey, right? From the
Hmm.
internship with NASA and, you moving all the way up to where you are now, the DMV area, right? Virginia, to work
Yeah.
for the Department of Defense. I've been honored and blessed to be a part of your journey for sure. So I appreciate it. And now that I'm no longer doing direct career job search stuff, I'm still able to support you in this new phase that you're at. So it's awesome how we can just kind of grow together, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Exactly.
Okay, so you didn't have a whole lot of expectations, but you knew it was going to be great. So tell us about what actually happened. Like, what did you end up getting out of it exactly?
Well, you helped me to narrow in and focus on how I wanted to show up and actually telling my story. That was one of the, I guess, the best part of doing Empower Presence is telling my story, getting to actually be comfortable in telling my story and my struggles and where I wanted to be and who I wanted or how I wanted to show up and who I wanted to reach. So it was just clarity, right? Clarity, and it helped me to understand what opportunity was going to present itself to me. I think we talked about, like, after a couple of weeks into the program, I was starting to see where I wanted to be, or um who I wanted to be in front of, and the different groups I wanted to reach out to. So that really helped me in a sense.
I love it. I love it. So, you know, when going through all the things, because we go through 6 different modules,
Yes.
and then we kick off your 90-day visibility campaign, right? And so throughout that process, were there any aha moments, any epiphanies, any breakthroughs that you had that you're willing to share at all?
Yeah, so I would say, like, it was almost like therapy, right? So and I say that because there was a moment where you had your workbooks, and I was like, you know, going through it, and it made me sit down and think about the path I was trying to go on, right? And it was time that I reached it back out. I was like, I don't understand this, or can you clarify? Um, and there was this one part where you told me, and I'm not gonna forget this, like, I guess I was beating myself up because I found out through this process I'm a perfectionist, and you was like, you're trying to be perfect in the way you want to show up, but sometimes you don't have to be perfect. You just have to be there to tell your story, right? And the thing that you said, like, your 75% could be somebody else's 125%, and that really hit home. And I'm like, okay, it's time to stop worrying about um how I'm going to say it, or who is listening, or how somebody's going to take it. Just be authentic.
That's right. Absolutely. I love that. I remember telling you that too. And I'm not, when I told you that, I wasn't trying to say don't strive for perfection
Right.
or don't move in excellence, right?
Yep.
I was saying if it gets to the point where you're stuck or you're not moving or you're not just you just stop taking action because it's not perfect enough, you need to realize that you're good enough is typically going to be the rest of the folks awesome.
Yeah.
Those are the type
Yeah.
of people that I attract because I'm that same way. Where I'm
Yeah.
like, everything has to be top notch, everything has to be make sense, it has to flow right, like right, and that is just operating in excellence, which is not
Right.
the same as perfection because perfection does not exist. Let's be real.
That's
It
right.
doesn't exist. You can always strive for it, but there's always room for improvement, no matter what.
Yeah,
So
and I was letting perfection stop me from showing up, you know? So that
yeah,
was that aha moment, that aha moment. Like I have somebody, some audience that I can reach and promote STEM within the DoD, within the private industries. There is some, little girl out there who would love to see somebody that looks like her and doing things that she is looking to do in the future, you know? So I just didn't want to take away that opportunity to show up for that person.
I love that. It's that is such a powerful breakthrough because people like imperfection.
Yeah,
Because no, again, it doesn't exist. So if you're walking around being perfect, people are not going to relate to you because they're going to
that's
feel
right.
like, oh, she's so perfect. Like, you know, I can't approach her, right? It kind of creates a distance. But when you're being real, a real human being with mistakes and flaws and just natural things that we do, then you're more relatable and people can actually approach you. And it's just a different vibe. So I love that that was one of your aha moments. Now, one thing I want to bring up because you text me this one day and you said, thank you for helping me find my voice. And I thought that was so powerful because I never set out to necessarily help people find their voice. But as I kind of processed what you said, I realized that this is also about helping people find their voice. So tell me a little bit more about like what you meant by that and how that actually played out.
So I'm the type of person that I think a lot, and I process stuff. So going through the program, you had us to write down what our mission was, what our vision, and it made me think about all the things that I've done in the past. I've been in this industry for over 10 years, and it just I was just always a background player, right? I'm involved, but I never had a full on set. I'm in the forefront. I'm ready to just be present. So going through the Empower Presence, it made me realize that I have more to do or say just to be in the background, right? I was very confident of how I want to represent STEM, how I want to represent as a female, as a black female in STEM. So that it gave me a voice. It gave me like I have something to say and I should be saying it more often. I should be in a crowd or a audience more often than I was before. And being confident about that.
Yes. Woo. Now that is why I'm doing this work.
Yeah.
That right there.
Yeah.
Because ooh, we have a message. We all have a message, and it starts with our story,
Yeah.
and it's so powerful and so impactful. And your people are waiting for you to tell your story. So I appreciate you for sharing that for sure. So before we wrap up, is there anything else you wanted to add?
Yeah, I would encourage anybody who's watching this live feed or go back and watch it later. If you're out there thinking about what's your next move or how can you show up or you've been thinking about there's something else missing in your career or in your life. This is just more about careers. It's just about your personal brand. Um, I encourage you to take a look into Empower Presence. I mean, like I said, I didn't have a lot of expectations. I just knew something great would come out of it, and it did. I know it's probably on your question to ask me, but like, you know, 30 days within 30 days, I have been invited to speak. I have like different career opportunities have presented themselves to me. It just started connecting me. Like the connections just started to come my way, and where I could show up or be present about what message I had and how I can help out. And so, if you're out there thinking about that, this is it. This is it.
I love it. Thank you so much. I appreciate you for sticking with me through all these years, for, you know, enrolling in the Empower Presence program and trusting me with that journey, and just for being here today to share your experiences. I appreciate you for sure for always kind of just, being there along the way. And so, if you're interested in Empower Presence, I'm going to drop the link below. You can book a call with me. There is a short application. Fill that out and then schedule your call, and let's see if Empower Presence is a good fit for you. Okay, this was made for brilliant corporate executive women of color who are ready to build their visibility and really capitalize on new opportunities beyond the 9 to 5. So
Mhm.
if you're an established career woman, and you have a message you want to share with the world, you have a story to tell, if you have an audience you want to tap into, you want to start getting invitations to speak, if you want to start a podcast, if you want to write a book, if you want to start a program yourself, if you want to start a mentorship, all of these things could be the outcomes for really getting crystal clear on who you are, what you offer that is of value, and who you're able to help. Once you figure those things out, you can have whatever you want. In the long run, you're going to get whatever you want because it's going to be meaningful and it's going to be intentional. So, again, thank you, Lindsey, so much. Appreciate everybody for watching, and I'll talk to y'all soon.
Thank you.